Hey, I'm Jim, together with my wife Chris. We're Geeks on Tour. And do you think your smartphone is smarter than you? And do you have questions about your Android or your iPad tablet? How do you learn about these amazing devices?
Well, we are geeks who teach. We're very much into lifelong learning, and there's enough of it when it comes to technology. And we just love teaching others. So that's our business. Geeksontour.com is the website, and there's hundreds of tutorial videos there.
Okay.
And then we do these weekly shows now.
And we're having a lot of fun with it. But right now we're in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, in a stick and brick house. We're flying back to Arizona this week to go home, if you will, back to our motorhome. But we may have trouble getting a good internet connection for next week's show. We'll keep you informed on both our Google Plus page and on our Facebook page. You can find those links at geeksontour.com, and we invite you to like us on Facebook and subscribe to us on our YouTube, follow us, and follow us on Google Plus. So today's topic is managing your phone and tablet in the cloud with
pictures. Your phone and tablet
pictures in the cloud with Google Plus. And today, to help us discuss this, we have guests from the Quad Cities Computer Club as well as Hilton Head Sun City Computer Club. And tell me.
You want to say, does Judy say hi and say where you are?
Yes, hi, Judy McDowell. I'm from Kelowna, Illinois, which is an outskirt of the Quad Cities, Iowa, Illinois, divided by the river.
Okay.
Looks like we're just seeing your avatar. I know you talked about that, but just
something's wrong that my camera's not showing my face.
Okay. Well, we hear you fine.
And then we have Robin Seaver. Say hi.
Hi, everybody. I'm from the Sun City Hilton Head Computer Club, along with my friend at the other end, Catherine Tracy.
We're about a mile apart.
Well, we did one of these with Bill Joyce and Diane Meldy last week, and we were about a mile apart too. They were in their motorhome, and we were still here at the Stick and Brick. So. And
we know all three of these ladies by having visited their computer clubs, and we know that they are really into the photos and the computer and the teaching. So I'm really looking forward to discussing this issue with them.
Okay. The way we do this show, we'll have a beginner's lesson with something that's important that we think is important. Phones and tablets. We'll start with the iPad, and we'll show Android too. And then we'll do some feature stuff. We'll talk to our guests and see what they like with their apps. And questions. If you have questions, please post them as comments below the screen, either in the Google Plus page there or the YouTube page, wherever you happen to be viewing, and we'll try to get them answered live during the show. These shows are recorded and available for viewing later on YouTube with the rest of the reruns.
Okay. So we have a couple of extraneous tips from the week. I like to, whenever we help a friend with something to do with their phone or tablet, I like to remember it for our show on Sundays. So was somebody who said their Android phone would get brighter sometimes and dimmer sometimes, and they didn't understand why. And I showed them where there was a setting that's called automatic screen brightness. I said, oh, that was cool. And the second thing was my own, and that was that the flash, the flash on these devices, none of them are all that great, but I took a flash picture where it just didn't take at all. And I said, what in the world is the matter? I'm like, yeah, switch over to me and let me screen share. So here's my phone. Well, now where's the flash? The flash is on the back. I have this cute little card holder thing that just sticks on to the back of my phone. But look what it does. It covers up the flash. So sometimes the issue has nothing to do with technology. It just has to do with real life stuff. So I just thought that was cool to pass along.
Yeah, that's interesting stuff. So we'll have to try and find one of those things now, and
it's really stuck on there.
yeah,
I
we'll
don't know. I mean,
tear it off
yeah, I don't
and move
know.
it down, get you a
I need
new
to
one or something. I don't
reposition
know what we're going to do about that. Okay, so
today we're talking about photos. It's in a lot of people's favorite topic when it comes to these devices because they're such great cameras. But what if you don't have a computer at all? That's where I think Google is going. That's where the world Google lives in when it comes to Android and photos and iPad, is considering the possibility that somebody doesn't have a computer at all. And I do have friends that are like that. You know, they used a computer all during their working life, but now that they're retired, they couldn't care less about computers, but they have a smartphone, they have a tablet, and they take pictures. So then what? Well, Google says put them in the cloud. Google Plus Photos is your account in the cloud, meaning on the internet. But first, I want to give you a little bit of a visual aid. So I'm here at my old family home, so I have access to all my pictures.
wow.
Do you remember the days when you had to go get them developed and printed? Well, I would bring all those prints home and go through them. The good ones I would put into an album. The rest of them just got dumped into this suitcase. I have a couple other shoeboxes around too, but I thought the suitcase was the best example. I couldn't throw them away. So, and I like that case. I could pick up one picture here, and it's from 20 years ago. I could pick up another one, and it's from 10 years ago, or another one that's from 40 years ago. And there's some gems in here. There's some put into an album. They didn't seem important, but I love browsing through them now. So I call this my all photos, and then these are albums. This is the equivalent in Google Plus Photos. Two main differences. Number one, these really are all photos, because in the digital world, I didn't have to remove a picture to put it in an album. It copies it. So this really is all photos, and there's just a copy of the best ones in the albums. Secondly, in Google Plus Photos, this is a private, locked group of pictures. Only you, the account holder, can see the pictures in this. When you copy them out to an album, each album can be designated private, public, or shared with just specific people. Okay, so that's my setup, my visual setup. Now I want to show you the iPad and how Google Photos works with that. I'm going to try to be brief because the main thing we want to do today is discuss this with our guests because they all have experience with this. So you should be seeing.
Sharing it?
You should be seeing my iPad now. Okay. And Google Plus is an app. You need to download this from the App Store. It is free, and you need a Google Plus account. That's all free. Now, when you first, Google Plus is a lot more than just photos. It's a whole social network, a la Facebook. But what all I'm talking to you about today is the photos. So these little three lines in the upper left-hand corner is the menu. tap on that, and you should see photos. Now, the first thing I want to do is make sure that the app has the setting turned on. All photos taken by the iPad to the Google Plus account. So that is in your settings. Now, the settings is a little difficult to find on here, but it's when you open up that menu, there's this gear, this cog wheel. That is where your settings are. Auto backup is turned on, and then there's a couple of options that I think you need to look at. Full-size backups. I say no, because if you upload your pictures full-size, you will run out of space eventually. If you allow Google to resize your photos down to 2048 pixels, you have unlimited free storage. And that's what I want. We'll talk about that more, but that's what I want. Also, you might want to tell it to only do this over Wi-Fi. If this is your phone, for example, you might be paying for the bandwidth. You don't want it to use that pay-for connection to upload pictures. Okay, so that's done. And so all my pictures are being uploaded. And this is just the highlights. So where it says highlights, if you drop down, then tap on photos, this is the equivalent of my suitcase. This is all my photos, and I'm only seeing these because I'm logged in. If you went to my photos, you could not see these. Ah, there's the ones I took trying to use the flash that was covered up. And then what's this one? This is not a photo I took. This is a photo that Google put together from these other photos that I took. That's called an auto awesome, so it's an animated GIF. Isn't that cute? All right, so that's all photos, and I have, and as I start scrolling down, you'll see a date here. Since digital photos are date stamped, that's that these are automatically sorted by date. It's just all photos sorted by date. And I could scroll all the way down. It goes down into the 1990s. Now, what about albums? Well, that's still in the photos areas, but instead of highlights, instead of photos, instead of stories, we're not going to talk about all these things, but there's albums. Albums is what I specifically created and put pictures into. And I generally do that by month because we just take so many pictures. So here's all our photos for October. In an October album, I go back, and I've been keeping these since 2003 or 4 because these started life as Picasa web albums. And I can still make them using Picasa on my computer. So those are albums, but all of the pictures in these albums are also in the all pictures. Okay, I think that's all I want to show you on that. Now I'm going to go to the Android, and same thing. Number 1, you need the Google Plus app. I have it in my social group. There it is, the red and G+. And where are the settings on here? Well, there's the little 3 dots that usually means the menu. Let's look there. And there's settings. And general settings. Okay, nope. I have to go into pictures first. So instead of everything, here's the photos down here. Now the 3 dots. Now I'm in photos. I'm not in the Google Plus home. 3 dots, settings, auto backup, and notice this one also. I've set to standard size, and I have an unlimited data connection on this phone, so I say it's okay to use the mobile data connection to do the upload.
But if you're on a limited connection, you might not want to do that.
That's for sure. That's for sure. And once again, we have highlights, or I tapped on that little 3-line menu next to photos, and here is where we have all photos, just by date. I have 35,000 of them in here. Or albums. And there are all my albums. Now notice this little globe. That means I've specified these albums to be public. But they're not all public. This one is private, just to me, and this one is shared just with specific circles of people. Okay, so that is just the overview. Google Plus Photos can get all the pictures from your device, put them into an area called All Photos, and then you can make albums out of each of them.
Isn't that cool?
So let's start talking about this now then. Let me see. I have a few questions, just kind of get the thoughts going. So what do you think, guys? Which of you want to talk about, do you see people using mobile devices only and needing this method of collecting pictures without a computer?
Well, I think it's definitely a trend, and we find, especially with our population, that is, we are a gated adult community, and people's old computers are dying, and they're really analyzing what their needs are and find that a tablet fits those needs.
And smartphone. I agree with Catherine. We're seeing a lot of that.
Okay.
And particularly with a computer club setup like we have, if people, they're going from XP, in a lot of cases, XP machines. The few times they need a traditional computer, and there still are sometimes you need that perhaps. We have 40 of them in our computer center.
Wow.
So for $10 a year, they have access to that between our open room and the training room that you were in. So yes, I agree with Catherine that for a lot of our population, definitely a trend towards tablets, and their kids are giving them smartphones.
So if they want to talk to their kids, they better learn how to use it.
and how to text, absolutely.
All right, Judy, how about up in the Quad Cities? What are you seeing?
Well, I've seen a trend of more and more tablets, but I haven't noticed the trend to ditch the computer yet. So we'll see. Maybe that's coming.
Yeah, and you know, I'm nowhere near close. I still want all of my pictures on my computer, and I use Picasa to organize them and upload them, but then I can see them on the phone or tablet. So I just think that's way cool. I love it when we're getting together with new friends and talking about our travels, and somebody mentions the Columbia River Gorge and the waterfalls there. I can say, oh yeah, I have pictures of that. Because I have kept these albums over the years, and I can find it because my albums are organized and show those pictures. So, oh, here's one that I am not sure. I am actually just looking to you guys for the thoughts on this. When do you think people should delete the photos from their phone or tablet?
I find people usually delete those photos when their phones get full.
That's true. Because they will get filled up, and they won't be able to take any more pictures until they get rid of something.
And or an operating system update comes along that temporarily needs a couple of gigs of memory on their device, and that's when they delete them also. From a practical standpoint, once you upload them to, and I like 2 cloud services instead of 1, that practically would be a good time to delete the ones that you don't want to have locally on your device. I would guess Catherine does that pretty conscientiously. I'm a bit careless about that.
Well, I have a 16 gigabyte smartphone, so with some degree of regularity, I like to clear things off.
Right.
But good grief, there's so many cloud places to keep our pictures these days.
Absolutely, there are a bunch, and we don't recommend that you use them all. It's just, pick one or two. Two is a good number. I like that, Robin.
I do too.
And
I might have 4.
but
Well,
anyway, yeah, just settle on them, learn how to use them best way. And where do you learn?
Right here.
Videos. Yes, in fact, I meant to mention at the beginning, I did make videos on this exact topic in preparation for today's show, but they ended up being some of my longest videos. I made 2 of them, and they're like 10 minutes each, so we weren't going to show them, but if you're a Geeks on Tour member, they're there on our website in the smartphone area. Now, if you depend on the cloud, though, and delete them then from your phone, what do you think about uploading them at the smaller resolution?
I'll jump in here. I pay Google $5 a year for 20 gigabytes of storage. So I upload them at full resolution because Google really is my backup for most of my pictures, except a few that I might have on my local computer and be playing with in Picasa. I also have OneDrive, Microsoft's cloud storage, upload mine also, but at the smaller resolution.
Okay, so you pick one cloud service and upload them full resolution, and a second one and upload them lower. Now, I still use Dropbox. Dropbox gets my full resolution picture from the phone, and then it ends up on my computer. That's still what I like. Then I use Picasa to work with them, and Picasa uploads the lower resolution one to Google+. So I have kind of a whole circle procedure, but it works really great for me. But someday when I don't use a computer, I've decided that the resolution isn't that big a deal, especially when I'm here and looking at all these hundreds of photos. But these are from 40 years. I collect this many in a month now. And, they're not that important. I am not a professional photographer. I am not going to blow these up into a
billboard.
Yeah. The smaller resolution, I think, is good enough. And one backup, I think, is good enough. These days, for just personal use, personal memories, I'm changing my tune.
So, Chris, don't you have the option in Picasa when you upload them? It can be full resolution.
Yes.
Right.
Yes, it can. But then you have to pay for some storage.
Or
and you're using a lot of bandwidth, too.
Or you could go ahead, Catherine.
I was going to say, I'm kind of like Robin. I pay the $5. We've been pretty heavily Googling for a long time now and haven't begun to use all of the storage.
Yeah, absolutely. You're probably right. And if you pay them a couple bucks, maybe you have a more secure feeling on your account, too. I always have a bit of a issue with free accounts, If they lose it, they say, oh, well, you didn't pay us anything for it. So, yeah, $5 a year, that's nothing. That literally is nothing.
Well, and storage prices have come down so quickly. Amazon, this you probably know, just this week, Amazon announced that Prime users have unlimited photo storage. Now, it's not free. You're paying $99 a year for the Prime membership, but that's pretty amazing. Raw files, the whole shebang.
Wow.
Yeah, the $99 a year is a bargain without the phone store.
That's right.
By
Right,
the time
right.
you
Just for the movies.
and the movies and all of that.
And second day shipping. Don't forget
Absolutely.
that. We
Yep.
buy a lot of stuff from Amazon.
A part of my angst with Google Plus has been because I was such a devoted Picasa user. I really felt that it was supplanting it, and I had to sneak around to try to get my Picasa web albums, and I was concerned about my shared albums. Now, as Google Plus has developed now, they're much more sharing with this kind of thing. I don't have those concerns anymore.
Mm.
Yes.
Yeah, and to me, it's been seamless. I've been using Picasa web albums since 2004, and now it's Google Plus photo albums, and they're all there. It's just been seamless. The display of them in Google Plus photos wasn't as nice to start with. But now I love the way they get displayed and all the auto awesome stuff.
Yeah.
It's pretty awesome.
It has a lot of bells and whistles, but it still doesn't have all of the editing capabilities that
Oh, no way. No.
That's why I believe in using both of them.
Have any of you played with the editing in your Google Plus photos?
Just a little.
Google bought a company called Snapseed
Right.
a year or so ago, and there's really some pretty nice editing there that's available. Maybe not as straightforward to use as Picasa is, but it's a nice alternative. And some of the auto awesome photos, Google uses some of those filters, and you can look at those photos, look at the editing that Google Plus has done, and kind of learn about the Plus photo editing that way. It's just another option.
Yeah, for example, one thing that Picasa has never been able to do is work with just parts of a picture.
Mm-hmm.
So if you just need to brighten up somebody's face, but you don't want to brighten up the entire picture, Picasa had no way of doing that, and the Google Plus editing features do. And I know that because that's one that I made a video on.
You did. I remember that. Very nice video, in fact.
Thank you. All right, I think I had one or two other questions, and then we are at about a half hour.
Well, we have some questions online, too.
Oh,
Comments.
okay. Well, we've talked about other systems. Facebook can do this, can automatically upload all your pictures to Facebook into a private all photos album, and then you can make special albums. So if people are Facebook users, you don't have to use this Google Plus. I use Google Plus because I'm all the way with Picasa. Yeah, Robin.
One thing to know about Facebook, and I know lots of people who use it for all their pictures, is Facebook strips out the location data. So you don't want Facebook to be the only place you have your pictures, I think, because it's nice to know where in Puerto Rico you were when that particular scene was taken.
Absolutely. I love the location feature. And there's no setting, huh? That just strips it out and
I think I think Facebook thinks that's a privacy thing.
yeah.
There may be some place that you can specify it when you're uploading your Facebook pictures, but I want to know where that mountain or where that river was.
Right.
Because otherwise they look all the same.
Robin, I thought we knew the same people. I cannot imagine putting all of my pictures on Facebook.
I have a niece who does. Maybe it's not all the pictures, but all the pictures I see.
Yeah, Google Plus Photos is really meant for photos. It's grown up with Picasa and Picasa web albums. So it's really meant for photos. So I do think it is good for that. Want to go to audience question?
I can try. Oh, look, it's going to work.
Hey.
I know how to store my pictures up on the cloud, but I sometimes have a problem getting them back down. That's Rosemary Bradford.
Getting them back down, yes.
Um,
You
if
can easily download picture by picture, but groups can be difficult.
Doesn't it depend how it's been shared? Like I had somebody send me a Google Plus album that was private just to me, and I could only download it picture by picture. So I asked her to find another way of sharing.
Okay. Let's see. Mike Ashbridge, how do you delete apps that you no longer want on your iPhone?
Well, yeah, that has nothing to do with pictures in Google Plus, but it's an easy one. So I can
Yep.
take that. If you just delete the icon and you do that by long pressing on it, it'll start wiggling. It'll get an X. You tap an X, that deletes it.
I wonder if she meant apps or did she mean pictures?
Those pictures? Oh yeah, deleting pictures. Oh.
I can't. Yeah. Well,
Yeah, deleting pictures. If you're viewing them and you tap on it, there should be a trash can.
Mhm.
That deletes the picture.
Yep.
Okay.
So
The Mac.
that was your question.
Yeah, if you have a Mac, there is a lovely little application called Image Capture where you can take your device and with the USB connection it comes up and you can easily delete whole bunches of things or individual things. Likewise, you can import, but deleting seems to be more of a problem.
Hmm.
Okay. Let's see. Richard Engel wants to know all those photos into your computer.
How did I get all those photos in the computer? Well, over the years. But I actually don't keep them on the computer's hard drive.
Well, I think you meant how to pictures onto the computer. Take a picture of them.
Oh, how did I get the old albums? Yeah, I just take my phone and snap it. I open up the album and snap pictures. I take a picture of a picture, and I think they work great. Anybody else? No.
Okay.
Chris,
Yeah.
you might, just because we're talking about it, you might mention your workflow for the pictures from your phone to your computer with Dropbox, because I think that is very clever.
my circular workflow.
But works from any device
Right.
that has the same account.
Right. What Robin is referring to is that I let Dropbox do the first step of getting pictures from all my devices and onto my computer. Then I work with them in Picasa, and I let Google Plus take them from there. But maybe even better here, let me share my screen for a minute. And
While you're doing that, just to be clear, you let Dropbox grab your pictures from your devices, send them to your computer, and then you clear out Dropbox. You're just using Dropbox as a transit device.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, thanks. I mean, isn't that what the word Dropbox kind of...
Yes. No, I think it's very clever.
Yeah, then, I mean, once again, I'm not paying Dropbox a penny either.
Yes, because their storage is still pretty expensive.
Yeah, I'd be happy to pay even
$10.
Yeah, but they jump from $0 to $10 a month.
Yeah.
For
not much storage.
For everything. Now we have a whole website. This is our website, geeksontour.com, and we have another one though called Picasa Geeks, and you can find it under blogs and articles, Picasa Geeks blog. And I write an article once a week or so. And one of the recent articles went all the way, well, the current article is about what we're talking about today. But not too long ago, I wrote one about my process. For example, here, I don't use the Google Plus Auto Backup on my phone because I use the Dropbox Auto Backup. And then I use the Google Plus Auto Backup on my computer. So once everything from all sources is gathered on my computer, including my good camera, then I let Google Plus back it up from there. So this article, I believe, has a few diagrams, yeah, on the process that I use.
A lot of good information in there, yeah.
Yes.
Bill DeLucia asks, what is the difference between Google Plus and the sync buttons in Picasa?
Somebody want to take that? How about Judy? You haven't said
Well,
anything about it.
Well, I don't.
Do you use the
The
sync?
sync button will sync it to Google Plus, I guess, but I'm not sure how it's different.
Well, I'll say something. I wonder if he really means sync button, because common kind of thing is the share button. You hit share and it goes to Google Plus. Sync will maintain, if I got this right, that any change in CASA will be reflected in the already uploaded picture. And
Right.
I stay away from sync because I stand, for instance, if I would delete that picture in Picasa, then it is gone. Am I right? It's gone in your
Yes.
cloud
That's what
version.
sync means there. So are they seeing?
Yeah.
Can they see my screen right now?
Yes.
What Catherine just talked about, and I'll bet you this green button down at the bottom of Picasa. So I'm showing my computer screen in Picasa right now. This green button is share on Google Plus. That is putting pictures into an album in Google Plus Photos. Now, if instead you click up on the folders tools and choose sync, then that is both creating an album on Google Plus and keeping that album and what you see on your computer screen in sync. So as Catherine said, if you delete a picture from here, it will be deleted from the cloud copy and vice versa.
Chris, I do use that up in the corner where it says sync to the web, and you turn that on up there.
Yeah.
I use that for one of my albums that I call a family photos, which kind of pertains to genealogy. But I use that so that when I add a photo to that album, then it syncs to the album on my other devices.
Right. That is awesome. I have set that up for friends that, I knew that they were never going to manage their album up on Google Plus or Picasa web albums correctly. But if I just set them up with an album, see, I have the sync turned on some of these as well, then all I had to teach them was how to put pictures in and out of that album, and it automatically puts them in and out of the web version. And some of these were being used in their website, so that was pretty cool.
Yeah, there's a purpose for it now and then.
Yeah, there absolutely is a purpose for it. But it's if you want to be in absolute control, I would not use that because because it keeps them in sync, and maybe you want them separate.
Yeah. Robert asks, I keep all of my pictures on my computer or external hard drive because the phone or tablet doesn't produce a large enough photo. In fact, sometimes I plug the computer into into the TV screen. Yeah.
Absolutely. But tell them about what you just got. You can display the picture that you're looking at on your phone. Display it on your big screen TV.
Right. It's called a wireless display adapter, and it's plugged in. It plugs into your HDMI input, one of your HDMIs, in your big screen TV, and then you can either share from a computer. It has to be a Windows 8, 8.1, or from any Android device. If you're on in the Apple world, you can do the same thing with Apple TV. So that's just something new. A new toy for us, anyway. Okay. Let's see.
I had one person ask a question via email. I'm trying to find that one.
Carol asks, I always have difficulties accessing your talk. Any quick tips to make it simple to access our
show?
Our show, I guess. Yeah.
Well, we would really like to know what those difficulties are, because we don't have any particular quick tips, but would sure like to talk to you about it and see if we can figure it out. There are two ways to watch live. One is on Google+, and the other is straight on YouTube. So first we'd need to know which one you're going to. And one of the issues might be, well, if you just left a comment, you must have a Google Plus membership, right?
Right.
Yeah. So that was the first thing that comes to mind, is some things require you to be a Google Plus member.
Right.
You are.
So yeah, I'll have to check it out. So, but we'll be back to you on that one about that. Bev says, if you delete photos from an Android phone, does it delete them from the cloud, Dropbox, Picasa, etc.? In other words, if I delete them from my phone, are they deleted everywhere?
Oh, that is a big question, isn't it?
Is it?
Well, go ahead. I mean, I have a thought there, but if you want to jump in, Catherine.
No, I mean, I thought once they're in the cloud, that's a type of storage.
Right.
And you can certainly remove them from your device.
Exactly.
I agree. But has anybody noticed this app? It is the Google Plus Photos, but not in the Google Plus. Oh, come on. It's a standalone app. This one? These things are so touchy. This one called Photos, has anybody been using that?
No.
Okay.
Nope.
Yeah, that is actually just like Gallery. This is a Google Gallery app. So if I go into Photos here and All Photos, and if I delete trash can, take a look at that message. We'll remove the photo and video on your device, and also any backups in your account. See, some people really wanted that. Delete everywhere. If I tap delete everywhere, that's what it means. Some people wanted that, and so it does exist, but only if you're accessing it via that app.
So the answer to the question is, it depends.
It depends, right? That is your favorite.
That is my favorite answer to everything.
If I delete it using Google Plus Photos, then no, it's still on my device.
Okay.
If I delete it from my device, it's still in Google Plus Photos. But if I delete it using that app, It tells you that's deleting it from everywhere.
So you got to be careful with that. Okay. Here's one. Marty wants to know, what's your belief on maintaining your own storage devices? Most come with a terabyte of memory. So instead of doing it to the cloud, is that, I think that's what he means.
Oh, or maybe your own web server.
Yeah, you
there
can
are
get your own
devices.
web server device and maintain your own. If you have a fast internet connection, you can get one of these web storage devices so you can have full control over it. It's important that you have a good, dependable, always-on internet connection, but that might be some way to do it. Not sure. I think that will answer it.
Well, if you're still using primarily computers, you still want external hard drives for storing stuff. No doubt about it.
Okay, Vaughn wants to know, do you have any shortcuts for creating albums in Google+?
Shortcuts for creating albums in Google+. Yeah, use Picasa.
That's the best one going.
Use Picasa on your computer. Realize when I say Picasa, I'm talking about computer software, Windows or Mac, not something on the phone. Although there is an app. Has anybody used that Picasa tool?
No.
It
No.
actually is kind of nice, but it's not by Google, and I think that's just so confusing. I don't want people using something that's called Picasa that is not Picasa.
Back to the question on creating albums on Google+.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty easy to edit, select multiple pictures, and just copy them to an album.
Yes. Yes, and what she's talking about there, yeah, show my screen, in Google Plus, on Photos, it's there for me today. I look at my all pictures. Here's a picture I took at a party last night. If I tap on the menu.
What a good-looking boy.
That's Jim's son.
Must be your son.
So,
Yes.
Family beard.
all the photos. So this is in just my private pile of all pictures. Tap on the menu, copy to album. And then you can create. In fact, I do need to put that in an album. I haven't started in November yet. So all right, so now I have an album called November, and that one picture is in it. And what Robin says is I could have selected multiple pictures before choosing that.
Hey, Chris, do you like that swipe keyboard?
I love Swipe. I couldn't, I'm willing to get an iPhone now that you can use Swipe on it.
Okay.
that was a deal breaker before. I love Swipe.
Okay. It's a free download for Apple right now. I'll have to give it a try.
Oh, really? Yeah, it was 99 cents last week.
Yes, it was.
Oh, darn.
Okay.
Break the
Any
bank
more?
with that one.
We're
Okay.
out of time.
Okay. Let's see if I can get one more in there.
We have review questions, too.
Yeah, okay. Let's see. Bill says, Chris, the picture of a picture has served us well even before digital cameras. I tried to name pictures with year, month, date, then the name of subjects. Someday someone else might like that info.
Very good.
Okay. Let's see, we have some
Review questions.
review questions. Let's see if I can do that. Okay. Suspender Dorothy. What does it mean? Stupid autocorrect.
It's supposed to be surrender.
Surrender. Okay.
Oh, wait. Oh.
What? Where am I going?
There.
Did you learn something? I know I did. Review questions. True or false? Google Plus is the only way to automatically upload all your mobile device pictures to a cloud account. True or false?
False. There are so many ways.
Okay.
There's Facebook, there's Flickr, there's OneDrive, and there's Dropbox.
Okay. So true or false?
iCloud.
iCloud, sure.
iCloud, oh, absolutely. And and iCloud's gotten a lot better with the last iteration.
Okay. True or false? Google Plus gives you unlimited storage space for free for all your photos.
It's only true if you select the option to allow them to resize your photos.
Uh-oh.
Right.
Okay.
Trick question.
No, they're not. Yeah. I have to stop that. And start that again. Which one? Wow. There we go.
Okay.
If a picture is in a Google Plus album, is it also in the area called Photos?
Yes.
Yes.
We have against. I actually wasn't positive, so I did a test just this morning to be sure. If I just took an outside picture and uploaded it to an album, it was indeed in my all photos.
Okay. If you delete a picture from an album, do you delete the same photo in all photos?
No.
Well, wait a minute. Are you talking about Google Plus or Picasa?
Right.
Not in Picasa, but
No.
I don't know about Google Plus.
Not in Google Plus either.
Correct. Yeah. Deleting. So, as opposed,
But they all
good
come
point,
in
Catherine.
albums.
Don't you wish that they had used different words? I mean, even the Picasa official instructions sometimes get confused between the word album and folder just in Picasa. And now add to it Google Plus, and albums are a distinct separate copy, unlike Picasa on the computer. Yeah. So the answer to that, if you delete a picture from an album in Google Plus, do you delete the same photo in all photos? No.
Okay.
Okay. Well, but Google Plus likes to put what they call highlights, which is some kind of an album that they perceive as the best of the lot there. And then you can also look at, is that what you're considering to be the album?
Well, no. I think the highlights, and I'm actually not 100% sure on this, but I think the highlights is just a different view.
Correct.
Yeah.
Well, it's shorter. I mean,
yeah, when I say album, I mean things that you specifically created. You created
an
the album.
album.
In two albums. Just like your Picasa web albums. In fact, they don't look any different when you're looking at them in Google Plus.
Yeah.
One of the things I really like about
Sorry, go ahead.
Google Plus, do you have time for this? One of the things I really liked, since I was at a Hawaii trip with 118 photos, and it shortened that in the highlights down to 29 photos. And they made very nice choices for me. Somebody 100 pictures.
Yes.
Just show them the highlights. Yeah.
So something.
Yeah. Google Plus is changing all the time, and as we have discussed previously, we have a love-hate relationship with it. You know, some things are difficult to understand. But especially if you use Picasa, and if you've been with Picasa and Picasa web albums, this is the way to go for storing your pictures in the cloud.
Well, it certainly doesn't hurt anything.
Okay, yeah, and it's free generally.
That's right.
Okay, well, thanks so much, guys.
Yeah, so the webpage that lists all our weekly shows is geeksontour.com. Go there and click on the link that says Weekly Show. And there's also a place there that lists all of our recent newsletters. We hope that you go in and look at those too. Michael Dorsey, good to see you. David Cross, I hope you're still there.
David,
And
we'll be seeing you in Arizona, I hope.
yeah, that sounds like a good plan. I think we should do that. All right. So what are the benefits I get by joining Geeks on Tour, Chris?
We just want to mention this because these shows are 100% free. They're just on YouTube. But we do make our living from our website. You will get access to all tutorial videos. You'll be able to ask any question you want at any time in our members Q&A forum. And we write detailed notes that go along with these shows. So if you're a member, you can watch the show and get show notes.
Well, cool. So become a member of Geeks on Tour and
or at least subscribe to the newsletter. Robin mentioned that before. Thank you.
Next week, we'll have a beginner's lesson, phone and tablet photos. Wow, that was this week, wasn't it?
That was this week, yeah, I didn't upload
And
that.
we'll have an app, questions.
I think next week we're going to get back to just some basic fundamentals, and that is using scanning QR codes. That is, if we can get an internet connection to do this show next week.
Yeah, we're going to have to struggle with that one. It might be a very short show, unlike this week's show, but we'll see how that works out. Watch for the notification for next week's show, and click if you're going to come, and leave questions in the comments.
Any parting thoughts, guys?
It's fun.
Good information. Thank you.
Okay, well, thank you. This was fun.
Okay. Bye, everybody.
Okay. We'll see you next week.
Good.
I hope. What does this button do? I'm Jim.
And I'm Chris.
And we're
keep
Geeks
asking,
on
what does
Tour.
this button do?
What does this button do? Don't touch that button.